Hey, okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Oh
Fantastic.
my,
And you?
oh my, good. I can see you're smiling a lot. Your
I
team won
know.
over the weekend.
Very
Congratulations,
well. I'm representing.
man. I don't know. For some reason, Chelsea keeps getting all these red cards. They got red
Yeah.
card the previous week with Manchester United. They got red card this week, and they lost both games. I think the next time they get a red card, the coach will be fired. But kudos to you and congratulations on a win.
Thank you very much. I mean, as far as it's to my advantage or to my club's advantage, I think I like it.
Excellent, excellent. So Eko, I think we're having an interesting conversation today about AI, and I'm going to hand it over to you because I think you have some questions for me about AI.
Very well. Let's get to it. I mean, hello and welcome to Informano's AI Weekend Analysis, the podcast where we explore the world of artificial intelligence. It's all about what's happening now, what's coming next, and what it means for all of us. I'm your host, an AI aficionado, and today we're diving into the topic, what is AI? This is actually the maiden edition of this podcast, so sit tight and enjoy this beautiful conversation as we begin to unpack everything about AI. Now, joining me is Mr. Patrick, and Mr. Patrick is an AI analytics leader with 20 plus years experience and is the president and chief AI officer at Informanos. Thank you for being here, Mr. Patrick. And how are you doing today officially?
No, thank you very much, Ekhoe. I'm glad to be here. I'm always excited to talk about AI at any time, and I'm doing great. But thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Patrick, I mean, you know the big question though on everyone's lips. Like people keep asking, what is AI, right? I mean, people say AI like it's one thing, and then I want you to actually deal with this. What's your plain English definition of AI? Like I will always ask, explain it like you would to a 10-year-old. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ekhoe. And it's an interesting question you ask. I remember several years ago, I was in Toronto, I think in 2018, 2019, and it was at this panel discussion, and I was moderating the panel. I had people from academia, faculty, and folks from industry, and we were talking about AI. We got so caught up in the conversation, we were enjoying ourselves, and one man in the audience said, "Excuse me, can somebody please define AI in a way that a 5-year-old can understand?" Um,
Uh,
and I think all of us were taken aback. And that taught me a lesson. There are two things. One is never assume everyone understand the terms you're using. And two, always be ready to explain what you're doing in a way that anyone can understand. And so I go back to a definition that was put out there by Time Magazine in 2017. And they define AI as any technique that enables computers to do what humans do at the same level as human or better than humans. I added the last part. But their definition was any technique that enables computers to do what humans do, to mimic human intelligence. And those techniques can be logic, those techniques can be if then rules, can be machine learning, or even generative models, which is very popular today. That's how I would define artificial intelligence.
Perfect. And thank you very much for that breakdown. We're still going to unpack this though, because there are some uh, terminologies you actually use there that I think our viewers would like to really understand. Now, you made mention of machine learning and also generative AI. Could you deal with this as separate subjects quickly? Thank you.
Abs- Absolutely, Corey, I'm happy to. So, machine learning is, when you think about machine learning, it's that branch of artificial intelligence that is based on the idea that systems can learn from data, identify patterns, and make decisions with minimal human intervention. But let me break it down further. Eko, if I'm to ask you, since you graduated from university, how what percent of what you learned in university have you used throughout your career so far?
Man, that's a very tough question at this point because I've actually delved into different fields apart from what I learned. So again,
Pick a
it's
number. Pick a number.
well, I'll say yeah because I mean what I learned in the university actually formed the basis. So because of that, I'll just give it a 5% or something.
Yeah, okay, based on I've had that question at a lot of places where I've spoken, and your answer is very magnanimous, even at 5%.
Oh well, like I said, that I gave context to it. Like because I feel it forms the basis of my knowledge at this stage of my life. Again, I want to be that magnanimous.
Very true, very true. No, but it's interesting because uh, and this is common to everyone that did an undergraduate degree or diploma. You discover that when you finish and you start working, you suddenly realize that you have to unlearn some of the things you learned
Hmm.
and learn new things.
Hmm.
Actually, you discover that as you progress in your career, you have to keep on learning and learning,
Hmm.
unlearning and learning. And so, Ekwe, for example, have you ever worked in the oil and gas sector? Have you ever worked in the oil and gas sector?
No. No.
Okay, fantastic. That's a good answer. So, if I took you today and say, Ekwe, I'm going to make you a VP of operations in the oil and gas sector, and I put you, let's say, in Shell, I can guarantee you that the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 2 months, if I call you and say, okay, how are you doing? You're going to be like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You'll be stressed. You'll be
Of course.
overwhelmed. But if I call you after a year and a half, after 2 years, and I ask you, Ekhoe, how are you doing? You'll be like, I've got this. I've
Mhm.
got this.
Mhm.
Now, what happened? I took you and put you in an environment that you have never experienced before. But because you have the capacity to unlearn and learn, all you needed was time. And after being exposed to data, you were able to update your knowledge, update your
Mhm.
perspective, and function very well in that new environment. And so
Mhm.
you realize that one of your greatest capacity or of any human being is the capacity to learn and unlearn, to learn
Mhm.
and unlearn. And so machine learning really deals with this concept that we can teach machines how to learn and unlearn so that if you play that machine in a new environment, just give it time. It will be able to understand that environment, analyze it, and be able to make recommendations and decisions based on the new set of data. Now,
Mhm.
the most interesting thing is it may take you 2 years for you to really understand how the oil and gas sector works because you have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to go on vacation, spend time with your family. There are other things that will distract you. But for a machine, it might take them only 1 day
Mhm.
because once you expose them to all the data about the industry, within 1 day, they can understand patterns, understand how things work, and
Mhm.
be able to make recommendations based on the new set of data.
Very well. Very well. I think you just dealt with one aspect of my question, which is the machine learning. Now, just quickly, okay, talk about generative AI. Even though I completely would like us to deal with this maybe in the next episode, but just touch on it really briefly. Thank you.
No worries, Ekoi. So generative AI is. I used to
Just a
be the dean.
just a tease
Just
now for this
it is.
because I really want us to talk about this in full, like
Okay, okay.
in depth
So
in the next episode. Thank you.
so so generative AI is really a class of AI systems. And again, I'm being very simplistic in my explanation. They are designed to generate new content or data that is similar to what humans might produce. I mean, these systems are capable of creating original content, such as text, images, audio, and even video based on patterns and examples learned from large data sets. So think about this. Think about, if I ask you to write a poem, well,
Mm,
I mean, you have to read several other poems and write a new poem. But with generative AI, I can say, can you write a poem for me in the Yoruba language or in Swahili, or
Mm.
a poem for me in English that is addressed to somebody who just won a lottery, somebody who just
Mm.
lost a loved one. And
Mm.
it can generate new content. It can write a poem for you that nobody has ever written before, hence
Wow.
generating original content. That's
Mm.
generative AI.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I mean, like, this is just a teaser. Viewers, this is just a teaser. There's a lot to really talk about, especially with respect to this aspect of AI. And I just want to thank you, Mr. Patrick, for your time today and for, your unpacking of this particular subject of AI. And again, I just want to let our viewers know, both listening and our audience know, both listening and viewing, that you should please subscribe, share, and follow. Again, we're going to be talking in depth about AI. There are different aspects that we really would like our audience to learn with this podcast. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And we're just going to sign off now. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. And
No,
again, see you next time. With the next episode. Thank you, everyone.
yeah,
Have a great
yeah,
day.
no, thank you very much, Ekhoe. See you next time, and hopefully next time my team would have been playing better, and I'll be smiling. I'll be smiling the way you are smiling.
You sure need it. You sure need it.
Okay.
All right then.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay.